Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do my weekly update for September 11th, 2022. So, this week was, as I said, we had the holiday on Monday off, which was really nice. I still had vertigo through Monday, pretty much, and a little bit on Tuesday, but I was fine at work. It was just, again, a couple of instances, and then it's faded away. So we're all hoping the vertigo's done. So my holiday weekend was not fun, due to the having vertigo, but it's definitely passed now. So at least I haven't had an episode since Tuesday. Yeah, I haven't had I had like a kind of a wobble at one day, but I think that was being bent down and then coming up too fast, so it was my own fault. Anyway, but mostly the vertigo that I was having that was making me kind of nauseous is not here anymore, thank God. So this week though, I did so much work I did my job, I have been, but I did a lot more physical stuff this week. I moved some parts that were in an upstairs storage, big storage area that just because they were big and bulky, they had been put up there many, many years ago. And so now we wanted to bring them down closer into the parts room where I could watch them more carefully to see what's used and not. And we finally got those down last week. So this week I knew I'd be moving them onto the shelves, and I did get that done by Friday. I did a little bit every day to make space and then to find space for them. And then right now I'm in the process of labeling and everything. But I moved a lot of stuff, so I'm a little sore. And as I said, I filled up my new shelf, and it's been a very productive week at work. And about Friday I was like, please give me some stuff to do on the computer. I'm done doing physical stuff. Anyway, so I got through that. But so really that's all I did this week, and then read when I came home, because by then I was just so tired. So not a very exciting week. Anyway, so not much else going on besides that. So I'm going to just talk about the books that I finished, the ones I'm in the middle of, and what I think I'm going to read in the next week. So Sunday, I did finish Witches Get Stitches by Juliet Cross. This is book 3 in the Stay a Spell series. I really enjoyed this one, mostly because it brought up topics that I think the books have been going towards this theme in here, and I think it did it really well, and I really liked that. I love the characters. They were so much fun. Yeah, Violet and Nico, and I liked parts of that. She was sometimes a little dense, but mostly she was the one that's much more outgoing or very blunt, or she just would say what she thinks, kind of thing. And in this book, she just had to stop and think about things of why things were the way they were, or why she was interpreting things the wrong way. Anyway, it was just a cute paranormal romance. Again, it's all witches, and then her love interest is a werewolf. And then there's the whole world where there's the people from the other books are in there, because again, she's one of 6 sisters. I thought it was 5. I don't know why I was thinking 5 last week. It's 6 sisters. So anyway, so I really enjoyed this one, and I definitely recommend this for a paranormal romance. Again, it takes place in New Orleans, following a group 5 or 6 sisters. Sorry, I keep getting the number wrong. 6 sisters. And then they're love stories, but they're all interconnected with the supernatural world. And so there's all different kinds, which is really, we got a little glimpses of some other things. And I'm really excited for the next full novel that comes after this. So, because after this one, I immediately picked up 3.5, which is the novella, or it's about, well, it's not super short, but it was not as long as the other books. I think it was it was like 200 and something pages, but it's considered 3.5. So it's called Walking in a Witchy Wonderland. So yeah, it's more Christmas tale. But I like this one because again, it's not something I normally like, which is novellas. But it was 5 stories of the different, some of the sisters and some of the characters that we already know, and just a continuation of the stories. So it was just a fun time. It wasn't super, there's not too much to it beyond that. I enjoyed it, but it it's not staying as long in my head as some of the other, but it does connect to the novels. So, I mean, I still think you should read it. I read it on Kindle Unlimited. I don't own a copy of this yet. For how many pages it was, I just wasn't, I'm not sure I want a physical copy yet. So we'll see. Matters how the rest of the series go. Maybe I'll just have to get it to complete my collection, but, or if the price drops at some point, I don't know. But anyway, so I did read that as well. So as I said, that was 3.5. So I made another couple dents on my September, or series September. And so that I doubled up on because I did 2 books in the same series. So at least I think I'm going to put it that to that. But I could pick up another book in that series. So we'll see what happens. And then, so I was thinking, well, I'm like, you know, I really should use my Kindle Unlimited while I have it. Because I said, I got it for 4 months. So I have it till mid-November. So I thought, well, I mean, I should be reading stuff that I saved on there to try. So the one I thought I'd try next was That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon by Kimberly Lemming. So this is the first book in the Mead mishaps. And I know a lot of people like this, this story, but it was just, I don't think it was for me. I got 30 pages in and I got tired. So we'll see. I might just be that it was just not the humor hitting me the right way. It is funny and it is kind of weird. This woman who, she grows cinnamon. That's the spice that her family is known for farming. And late one night when there's been celebrations in the town, she comes home and she runs into a demon and he chases her. And then later he forces her to help destroy somebody who is making the demons go crazy in the other, like the other dimension or the other side. I'm not sure how the world works, but she's supposed to help him anyway. So, and of course it's, you know, it's going to get steamy at some point. This is the more absurd fantasy, and it doesn't always click with me, and it does sometimes. Like, I've had some funny reads where I've really, really enjoyed it, and it was really funny. But for some reason, this one isn't doing it, so because it's Kindle Unlimited, I might come back and try it again someday when I don't, like, I have to pick up an ebook somewhere, and I'm not sure what to read. I might try this again, but I just, it wasn't calling to me, and I was just like, this is stalling me out, and I was, you know, as I said, I've been reading quite a bit recently, so I was like, you know, I don't really want to, I'm not going to, I don't want to read that. So I put it down, so we'll see if I come back to that. I know some people have really liked it, so if you guys have read it, let me know. I mean, I got 30 pages in, and it's about 175, I think. So, I mean, how much farther do I get before maybe it gets more interesting? I don't know. I'm just kind of, it's more absurd than I was really expecting. I mean, I should have known by the title, except I don't know. It just has to click the right way. And then, I decided, cause I was at, I think I was at work on my lunch when I decided that wasn't working for me. So I switched books to an ebook that I bought, after I finished Guild. So I started Glint. So you see now I have a physical book is because I went and bought all the 4 books that are out in this series. So they came after I finished this book though, but I did read it all on Kindle. I had bought the Kindle version. I had some credit on there from not shipping something to me too fast. So I spent some of that. So I got this about half price off. So I did, this is book 2 in the Plated Prisoners series, and by Raven Kennedy, and I read, which I'll show right here, Glint, I read last week. And that was totally by accident. Again, that was another one that was on Kindle Unlimited, but I don't think it's there anymore, but I read it from there and just blew through that book. And so I did the same thing with this one. I mean, again, I was busier at work, so it still took me a couple of, several days to read this, but I really enjoyed this. I think this one had a few more instances where, well, again, there's only a few little things I have problems with the first book and this book, and they're mostly is just because the main character is in some ways very naive with how she thinks something's gonna go, except that it makes, now that I've gotten through this book, I see why those things were done. So it's not quite so painful now. And I think on a reread, I might, I might still want to skim over that, not read those parts. But there's only like 2 parts in here that I was like, I don't know about that. That's a dumb move. But mostly I enjoy this. So really, this is a really fast fantasy read. We're following Oren, who is, I think that's how you say her name. And she has gold skin, and she is the beloved favorite of King Midas. And so from the first book Guild, we get where she has been living in his castle in a cage that it's been expanded so she can go to different rooms, but essentially she has been put in a cage and is locked away from everybody unless Midas lets her out for political reasons or for other things. And she is not, no one's allowed to touch her but him. And he is considered, has the Midas touch, he's Midas, so he is the Golden King, and the leaders of this world all have powers, and his is the gold touch. But the thing is, the story goes on and you learn more about her. The first book, like, I didn't know what her name was because they always called her the beloved or the favorite or whatever. This book, at least now we see her name more often, and I get it more. I mean, again, and it might be also because the first book is completely written in her perspective except for the very end. I think the last chapter is from Midas, his point of view. But so you just didn't see her name very often. Now in this book and beyond, there's a couple perspectives from other people. So in this one, like, we got Midas, and we got and I think we got, I can't remember if we got, oh no, did we get her? I can't remember. I keep thinking we might not have, maybe not in this book. Here's the next book. Anyway, but there's a third perspective that pops up in the third book for sure, which I'll get to in a second. But anyway, I really enjoyed Glint. Again, I said I read it pretty fast, and I said I did it on my Kindle, but again, I bought the physical copies, which I don't regret buying because again, this is a 5-book series and only 4 books are out. So I have 4 books. I have, if you want to read, but then I have to wait till next June. I think is the date for the 5th book, and it's going to kill me. Anyway, but so far, I really enjoyed this. This is one of the most surprising series this year. If I had to pick something that I was not expecting to enjoy, this would be it, these books. So anyway, I finished book 2 in that series. So I've read 2 books in that series for series September as well. But I'll be reading more, so it's not going to count for double. It could count for Double Up. I also started the series, so that to me is where I'm going to probably keep this one, as it counts for a start of series. So now let's talk about the books that I'm in the middle of. I did get the audiobook, a partial from the library for the last book of the Sherlock Holmes series, the Case Book of Sherlock Holmes. So it had an audiobook. It split into 2. So the first section came in, which had 6 stories. And then the second section with the other 6 stories is about 2 weeks out for me. I have one person ahead of me. So I'm hoping to get that before the end of the month. But I'm almost done with the Sherlock Holmes read. I have really enjoyed this by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. I think I still like the earlier stuff, and the Hounds of Baskervilles are still my favorite. But I think the short stories, they're still good. I still never really know what's going on. But so I listened to the 6 stories one day at work while I was moving stuff around. And so, as I said, I have about approximately 150 pages or 6 stories left, and I'm so excited to be almost done with my Sherlock Holmes series. So that'll be, hopefully, I'll get, as I said, I'm hoping it pops up here in a week or 2 so that, I'll definitely be within the month because it's an audiobook, so they have to release it at the 3 weeks. So I'm hoping to be this done, and this will be a finish of a series, the last book in the series. So I'm really excited to be almost done with my Sherlock Holmes. A few of these I really liked, but not all of them. There's a couple that I was like, that was okay. But some of them were pretty good, and I did enjoy that. The other audiobook I listened to a little bit more of To Green Angel Tower by Tad Williams. Again, I'm doing this reread, trying to get through these book so I could get to the new book, because I feel like it was too many years. Well, I mean, it's been a few years since the last book came out. I just want to reread everything. So, but I'm listening to my audio this time, which is just different. I mean, again, I said I've read these books Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn is one of my favorite epic fantasy series. I read the first 3 books several times over the years. I mean, I think this is my 5th time of reading the series all the way through. Not positive, but Green Angel Tower is gigantic. This is only half of the book, because again, it was too big, and so I'm only 245 pages in on this book, which is 800 pages, and then there's another book. So the audiobook is over 60 hours, and even at 1.5 speed, which is what I read at, is 40 hours. So I'm only about 35. I have like 35 hours left. So I still have about 15 hours left on this book, and then I have 20 hours on the other book, about approximately. So anyway, this is, again, Green Angel Tower is the 3rd book, so I'm not going to talk about this one, but the Dragonbone Chair in the first book. This is the first book in the Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn series. Again, it's continued on to The Last King of Osnard, which is why I'm trying to reread these two. Reread those first 2 books in that series, and then read the new 3rd book that came out, Into the Narrow Dark. I'm not sure I'm going to make it by the end of the year, but I just have to make sure I have the hardback read before the paperback comes out. That's my goal in my head. But this follows the first book, The Dragonbone Chair follows Simon, who is a young boy who's, he's been brought up by the women in the kitchens, and he is taken on as an apprentice to Dr. Morganes, who is kind of like the scientist, the wizardish kind of character. And things just go completely wrong during those years. It definitely has the coming of age, and people being, going from low beginnings to, getting caught up with all the princes who are are doing the politics stuff. Plus there's this, there's the Scythi and the Norns, who are in battle, who are kind of like the elves, 2 different sets of them that are related, but they've split off from each other. There's just so much stuff. It's a great epic fantasy series. Again, my favorite epic fantasy series. And so I'm doing my reread to continue that. So you can have another epic fantasy series, The Black Coast by Mike Brooks. I did read a little bit more of this. I did think about picking this up after I finished Glint. I was thinking, I'll pick up this then. And then, no, I didn't. As I said, I read 30 some pages. So I still want to continue it. This is a series where on the coast, there's this keep. I think it's called the Black Keep. And they know that the raiders come during a certain season, and they come and raid them every few years or something. So, they're kind of on the decline in the area. They're just, just trying to make do. And they see the raiders coming, but the raiders are not coming to raid. They're actually coming as refugees. And so this is a story where there's a lot of stuff going on in this part of the world, with a lot of political stuff that's not affecting the Black Keep, but the Black Keep now has all these refugees who are somehow connected to what's going on in the other parts of this world. So I think this is going to be very interesting. I like the characters so far. And I did like what was like where I stopped, but I just, as I said, I really got into the Plated Prisoner series. And so I think this is just going to have to wait until I get through that, but I am reading this. So, this is one that I accidentally bought the 2nd book, and now I've already pre-ordered the 3rd book. So I think I'm going to let the pre-order stay. So I'll have all 3 of these, but I am definitely going to focus on this once I get through the Plated Prisoner series, because I just can't stop. Anyway, so there's that. So I have that. It's on my currently reading, but I'm not going to currently read yet, but I could come back to it after I finish Gleam by Raven Kennedy. So I'm in the book 3 of the Plated Prisoner series. I'm about just over a third. Yeah, I didn't make it to half. So no, I guess I'm almost half. Like I'm Yeah, I didn't make it to half. I got pretty far yesterday and Friday when these showed up. So this shows up on Friday. I started reading it as soon as I got it on Friday night, and then I read quite a bit of it yesterday. I did hang out with my brother a lot yesterday, so I didn't have quite as much time to read. And then I also restarted my Animal Crossing Island. I just decided to get back into that. And I restarted. So that took my time too. But this is, again, the Playdead Prisoners series is definitely one of those fantasy series where it's, where I was told it was a fantasy romance, but I was told there was not much in the first book, which I totally agree. I would say this is not a fantasy romance series. I think this is very much a fantasy. It just has some elements of romance in it that it's slowly coming to art. It's very slow burn. Don't expect a whole lot. There is some, I would say, some sexiness to it in the first book and the second and third. But there's also the tinge of violence that comes with sexuality and stuff. And I think it's all done very well. I just would not classify this as a fantasy romance because of what's happened so far in the books that I've read. I like what's happening in this book. This book is compelling, and I really can't wait to start reading more of this. Things have changed so much from the first book, but I thought the progression was done so well. This is a series I did not expect to enjoy this much. I just thought it'd be just kind of fun, and I am really, really enjoying this. I don't think this is like 5-star quality all the way. I think I think there's still some some few issues here and there, but overall it's just a fun journey, and that's what I need in reading right now, is just to have fun. And this is just compelling enough, and I want to know what happens even when it's really bad. Actually, when some bad things happen, I'm not happy. And I think that's a good sign too of a good series. So anyway, Gleam, as I said, I'm hoping to finish this up probably tomorrow. I don't think I'm gonna get this done today because I have 300 pages left, or 330 pages, I think. Because this is 600, no, I have 360 pages left. Okay, so I have 360. I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna finish this today. But I hope to finish tomorrow or Tuesday. I just, these books just get bigger and bigger. Have you noticed? They're like, they just get bigger. So, saying that, again, I would really like to get back to the Black Coast, which I will get back to either this week or next week. I'm not sure. But my buddy read with Tianala Books for Ruby Fever has been pushed off. She needs at least another week or two, which is fine. I'm going to finish the series, the Hidden Legacy series, but I don't need to finish it right away. That book just came out. We're caught up, up to that last book. I can totally wait, so no problem there. So again, as I said, I'm hoping I'll pick up the Black Coast, but I might pick up one of my other end of series books, like the ones that'll finish a series off. I do want to read that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'll be ready for it. Or I might pick up book 4, Glow, which again is gigantic. This one is, I think, 700 and something pages. Oh, where is it? Hold on. This is 714 pages. So another 50 pages longer than this one. I don't know. So we'll see. This might be the next book I pick up. It might not. I might give myself a week or two. We'll see how I feel after I finish this one. Because, the thing is with these books is they have cliffhangers. Like, they are cliffhangers. And they definitely compel you to pick up the next book, which is why it worries me about Glow, is that I won't be able to pick up the next book because it's not out, and it won't be out for, 8 or 9 months. And I'm like, that's going to hurt me. And then I'll be in the boat of everybody else who's read this series too and feel the same way. So, but I'll be caught up. But anyway, right now I'm reading book 3. And as I said, I don't know what I'm going to finish. After I finish that, I might pick up the last of the Stay a Spell series that I have, which is Always Practice Safe Hex. I might pick up For the Throne by Hannah Witten, and I might pick up, what was the other one that was a finish? Hairbringer, by Philippa Balladine. So I might do one of those before I pick up Glow, but we'll see. yeah. Anyway, so that's where I'm at right now. I am probably going to go to Barnes & Noble this afternoon. I did find out that they reopened just across the street from where the old Barnes & Noble was, that was taken down last fall, where I bought several books that were on sale when they were liquidating their inventory. And I didn't know they were coming back. I was so upset because the closest one to us is like where it's really south from here. And so I hadn't been to a Barnes & Noble in quite a while. And then we got a notice in the mail that said that the Barnes & Noble had reopened just across the street from where it was before, in the same kind of shopping mall area. So I think I'm going to go over there around lunchtime and maybe buy a book. I don't know what I'm going to buy. I shouldn't buy anything. My buying is still not that great. I did buy 4 books this week because I bought the whole Plated Prisoners series, but I have read 2.5 of them so far. So do I get bonus points for that? I don't know. So anyway, but I might go to Barnes & Noble this afternoon. Maybe pick up a book just to be like, stay in the area. Because as much as I don't go to Barnes & Noble that often, it was always nice when I did go that it was there, you know, and I want to support them enough that they'll stay around there. We'll see what happens. Anyway, I don't know what I'm going to buy. I have nothing that I have to get, so we'll see. It'll just probably be a mood pick. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, that could be something I read pretty soon too. I don't know. I have so many books. I have so many things I want to read. But I really am keeping to my series right now. There's some standalones I really want to read, but I'm hoping to do those in October. So, but just so many books I want to read. And I picked up this Plated Prisoners series on a whim, and I am so glad I did. Sometimes that works out, doesn't it? So we will see. So what are you guys reading? Are you reading anything good? Have you guys picked up any good series in series September that you're so glad you started, that you had been putting off? I mean, I have so many more series to try, and I'm just so excited to again find another series I enjoy. So anyway, is there anything on Kindle Unlimited you think I should try? Something more into the fantasy romance series, or, you know, like that kind of genre, because this really isn't, to me, this is definitely fantasy. Like, I don't know. It's not quite, it's just not enough to the romance yet. Maybe it will be later in the books, but I don't think it quite qualifies that title for me yet. Right now, it's still very much fantasy. Anyway, so, and it's getting good. So I'm going to get back to that. So anyway, if there's, let me know if anything is cool is going on. Let me know, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.